Hypixel Skyblock is a game that's run on an economy, and in an economy, you're going to need money to get your way through the game. So, to get money, there are many different money-making methods. Some of the most prominent money-making methods are grinding zealots and bazaar flipping. But now I've found out another money-making method which might actually surprise you. But before we get into the video, make sure you subscribe because I'm making content daily and it will help you in many ways when playing Hypixel Skyblock. I said that this money-making method might surprise you, but the reason it is because it was actually an old money-making method that had become obsolete. This money-making method is grinding slayers. I know that might sound kinda stupid because slayers are considered a money sink, as you don't get any money for the amount of money you invest in unless you're doing wolf slayer and get an overflux. But if you actually do tier 3 slayers, they are actually pretty profitable aside from tier 3 revs. The reason grinding tier 3 slayers is so profitable is because the amount of items you get from the slayers is not proportionate to the difference in cost. A tier 4 slayer is 5 times a tier 3 slayer, but the loot drops from a tier 3 aren't 5 times more. This makes tier 3s more profitable, as you can get the same amount almost that you would get from a tier 4 for much cheaper. The two slayers I advise you do for this is Tarantula Slayer and Sven Slayer. These two slayers are the most profitable because their web and wolf teeth respectively sell for a decent amount and have the possibility for a tier 3 job that sells for a lot. In Tarantula, the tier 3 job is a Tarantula talisman, and in Sven, it is a red claw egg. A lot of people tend to say that Tarantula is better for profit because you can get the 6.5 million coin Tarantula talisman. But I'd like to say that Sven is actually almost as good, at least in the short term, because the wolf teeth actually sell for a pretty good amount of money. Considering how much it costs to start the quest, it can sometimes pay off the entire beginning of the quest, even though Tarantula tier 3s barely cover a fraction of the cost to start the quest. As I said before, Svens are currently better because of how much of the price is taken off straight from the wolf teeth. This means that most of your profit is coming from rare drops. So stuff like wolf teeth will cover the actual cost of the slayer, but the stuff like hamster wheels will actually go straight into profit. So to show how good this is actually for making money, I decided to do 1 hour of full god-potted tier 3 Svens in the Howling Caves. Basically that cave that is in the park. Okay, so now I've finished doing a bunch of tier 3s with my master farmer, and I put in all of the loot into one chest. In this chest, you'll see a bunch of loot that I actually got from doing a bunch of tier 3 Svens. There's actually one more thing I got, but it's on the AH right now, and you'll be able to see what happened with it later. I have about 330k in my bank. When I started this, I had 700k. So everything above 700k is profit. So with our first inventory, we sell and get around 400k, which is really good, getting us already into 80k profit. Then we still have these wolf teeth, which after being sold results in us another 200k profit. So we've already made it 200k, which is actually pretty good. So then we sell this and boom, another 55k. So 300k profit, that's pretty good. But then we got two things, the weak wolf catalyst and the critical 6 book. So these two things will bring up our total even more, and we actually made about 600k profit and maybe even a little more, which is actually pretty good considering that we didn't lose any money. Even though I didn't make as much as Summoning Guide grinding, I still made a pretty good amount of money. And one addition that Summoning Guide grinding doesn't get you is Slayer XP. Yeah, so I got a few K of Slayer XP, which is helpful for early game players and allows you to get your Slayer XP up while earning money. So it is actually a pretty decent money making method. And this is also not considering we get any RNGesus drops. So if you were to get an RNGesus drop like the Red Claw Egg, you could sell it for a pretty good amount of money and make some even more profit. So you can see that I made a decent amount of money. But you could also see that if I did Tarantula and got an RNGesus drop, I would have made loads of money. That is one thing that I was saying before is really good about Tarantula. If you do enough tier 3 Tarantulas, it will make you a lot of money. The only thing is it is a little discouraging because you will not make that much profit from Tarantula Slayers if you don't actually get the talisman. Unless some of your items get really highly bid up, you usually won't make that much profit. Finally, if this video helped you in any way to make a little bit of money, consider subscribing for more Skyblock content.